Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Tron 2.0. In the previous episode, we were unceremoniously digitized into, well, the computer system. Went through a tutorial and then got attacked by the corruption from whom we had to run before becoming corrupted ourselves. Oh, one other thing to take note of. Whenever you enter a new level, all your permissions go away. Makes sense, you're entering a new part of the hard drives. Gonna need some new permissions to get around. So don't count on relying on the ones you got in the previous level.
Strange little creature. What are they?
That is a code optimizationware. They graze on excess code. Activating one allows you to optimize a subroutine up one level. To use, face the creature and activate. Use wisely. They are only good for one optimization.
Yeah, these things are kinda scattered throughout the game. They are one means through which you can upgrade your subroutines. The other is simply finding better versions in transfer bins, but more often than not, those are going to be expensive on your energy. Honestly, I don't really need to know whether or not my enemy has armor. I can see that. So I think I'm just going to go for the jump increase. And like I said in the previous video, as you upgrade your subroutines, they take up less space. So I'm just going to move the Y-amp over here so I have 3 free spaces in case I get any good subroutines I want to use. And like he also said, it's only good for one use.
You do not have the proper permission set to enter the power stream control sector. Follow me.
Ah, these things right there. Sec resers. These are basically alarms that are used to, well, call in enemies to attack you. If you have the proper permissions, you can shut them down. Another email for us to grab. Let's see, to Jet from Alan. Look, son, I know you have a problem with working at the same company as your old man, but I've heard that the games division is looking for an entry-level programmer. It doesn't pay very well, but it's a foot in the door. Perhaps after a few months, you could switch over to R&D. Anyway, I won't co-sign for the lease on your new apartment unless you have a job, so I suggest you send in your resume immediately. Don't let pride get in the way of your better judgment. Ah, problems within the family, I see. Yeah, as you can see, our jump height has increased massively with that upgrade. Not enough to get up on top of those, but still, it's something. Here we have our first instance of an actual security guard. These are going to be one of the big enemies you're going to be facing right alongside the infection. Didn't have anything for us, though. Also got this data stream, but I recommend going across this way instead.
There's a subsystem that runs beneath the main level. Look down there.
Be careful when jumping across this. Like I've always been saying, quick save often, but quick save cautiously. Uh-oh. There's corruption. Yeah, shit. Ow. And profilers become infected. Yeah. Oof, really did a number on my health. Alright, be careful not to drop into that, because I'm fairly certain it's instant death, and I'm not going to test that. Gotcha. Let's see. Okay, infinite energy over there. But we also have permission and a program. Fuzzy signature. Let's see, if I recall correctly, that's something that's supposed to make your footsteps quieter, good for sneaking, not really too useful to us at this very moment. Let's see. Movement sound reduced 25%. I'll equip it anyways, just because we got nothing else to work with. Ugh, I really hate fighting infection, especially early on. And this is why we couldn't use the data stream earlier. build note right here. I feel like I missed something, so I'm gonna go back and check. Probably wrong, but you never know. Because they do like to hide these things everywhere. Sometimes places that are devious, sometimes not so much. But we got what we came here for, so let's get moving.
The corruption is spreading. We must keep moving.
Yeah, thankfully after this, the corruption isn't going to be a real big enemy for us for a while. Uh-oh. They think we're the viral source. That's not good. Let's see. Per your request, I checked our company handbook, and there doesn't appear to be any problem with your son working here. Nothing in regard to nepotism, at least. Send his resume over, and I'll get it in the system. Nepotism. So is there anything even up there? Nah, I don't see anything. Nothing worth wasting my time on.
Uh-oh. The source of the corruption.
Now this is unexpected. These programs believe you are the source of the corruption. Haha, that's rather funny, actually. Come, you are not safe here. We must find the server's exit port.
No, it's not funny. Not for me, at least.
This corruption? More and more zealots are popping up. There goes the neighborhood. But what the hell's causing it? The Colonel has issued instructions to watch for an unauthorized program in this sector. That's probably the source of the corruption. There's only one thing I hate more than zealots, and that's unauthorized viral code. I'll de-res him on the spot. Cool your circuits. The Colonel wants the program quarantined and brought in for interrogation.
Yeah, except that's not what you're gonna do, is
I
it?
found an anomaly! Uh-oh, we've got company.
Ooh, an extra permission. That'll probably be useful. Unfortunately, we can't get to it. Power stream, danger. That thing will instantly kill you.
Can you tell me how to get to the exit port?
The exit port is located beyond the power stream, but getting across is impossible. The auto exec is broken. You'll need to cycle the power stream manually. Don't get too close to the power streams.
Yeah, I highly recommend taking his advice on that. Do not touch it. It will kill you. Almost instantly. I always recommend trying to aim for the head, especially on these guys, considering the fact that they have armor. Ooh, primitive charge. Come on, come on. Let's see, primitive... That increases the damage of disc, rod, ball, and mesh primitives. Yeah, those are the different types of weapons. There are also different forms the weapons we can of those weapons that they can take. What it means by primitive is that is the most basic form, but there are also 2 other forms they can take. But we need subroutines for that, which we don't have access to. Still though, a 20% base increase? I'll take it. Especially considering our disc primitive is the one we're going to be pretty much using this whole time.
Illegal programming sector. All ICPs.
Almost made it to the sec reser, which would not have been, like, horrible for us, but it wouldn't have been good either. And don't have the permissions for it, though, so we're gonna have to go on an exploration spree. Let's see. If I recall correctly, we're gonna need to go down in here. And though not out here, that is something we're gonna want to try and go for. And there's a permission in here. Actually, I think that is the permission we need. But there are plenty of other bins around, so I say we go exploring. And then do be careful to not overshoot your jumps. Trust me, it's a very easy and embarrassing way to die. Case in point. That is why you got a quick save. let's see if I can't jump my way across. Good. Oh, hey, another build note. Ah, and this is the other way we could have gone. Let's see, let's get this email. Let's see, I got to meet your boy Jet today, a fine young man. He aced the programming test and everyone seems to like him. It didn't see a bit of that attitude problem you keep mentioning. I've got a slot on the Space Paranoids 3D team that's a great fit. So it seems this attitude problem only comes out around his father. Alright, there's a program and a permission in there. May as well try grabbing that. Let's see. Unknown Alpha Subroutine. Well, now I just have to know what it is. Won't know until we get it through the porter, though. Let's see. It is defense, which means it's armor. Alright, well, best to let the porter do its work. Now then, we want to go down and into here. This is how we get into this room. And look at that, a box filled with subroutines. Ooh, Beta Profiler. This is the... I probably already mentioned it, but this is the other means by which we get new programs. There's also a virus scan that I'm going to want to grab. Do I have enough? Should. Let's see. Yep, just enough. Probably going to drain that energy patcher, though. Let's see. Virus. Alpha, it notifies you that a non-specific corrupted out subroutine is present. In other words, it'll tell you, there's something corrupted in here. I don't know what. Beta, it tells you which one is corrupted. And Gold, which I highly recommend you try to get whenever you can, if you can, basically tells you that it's present, which it is, and will automatically disinfect it during download. That is going to be very useful when the corrupted enemies become a larger presence. Might not be a bad idea to know which ones are corrupted, so I think I'm going to remove the fuzzy signature. That will be useful later on, but not for the time being, it is. I believe we actually have enough to start shutting down these sec resers. But we don't actually get anything for it. Let's take care of downloading some energy. Yeah, as you can see, very limited in supply. Still one more build note that we're missing. I'd like to keep a lookout for it. Be careful, just because you kill all the enemies and potentially take care of all the sec resers, yeah, they'll still show up. I do highly recommend that you block their shots, because that means it takes much longer for the disc to get back to them. Very, very useful. It's one of the other big reasons I highly recommend that you master blocking. And you can't just hold up your disc, it's a timing thing. I would genuinely like to know. It's probably down there by the exit.
Approaching.
If I'm right. No, it is not.
If you have package to transport, you better hurry. The exit port is scheduled to go active soon.
Yeah, that's not the exit port that we see there. That is the data stream. Which, yeah, this ain't the exit. So, I believe we'll probably find the build note on the other side. Just in case, I'm going to quick save. Actually, let me do a hard save. Because I'm probably going to quick save on the other side.
Port activated. Illegal program detected in exit port sector. Quarantine protocol fields raised.
Uh-oh. We're going to need to overload these. Sorry, little bit.
Additional quarantine protocol field raised.
Uh-oh.
Unauthorized use of resources detected.
That's he didn't stop him in
Security
time.
rescue station.
Eventually they will start getting helmets on their faces, which means headshots are not going to be an instant kill. But until then, I still highly recommend aiming for them. Ooh. Something here is corrupted, but I don't need either of those because I already have a sub-mask. It's basically helmet. Provides 10% overall body protection against attacks. Might not be a good idea to have it, but for the time being, we don't really need it.
Additional quarantine protocol field raised.
Why do I get the feeling I should have been searching around first
Quarantine protocol
before...
field raised.
Oh, I see more programs. Buddy took the bullet for you. Not that it mattered in the end. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Don't worry, Jet's doing fine. He's more than pulling his weight on the SP3D team. In fact, I'm bumping him up to lead programmer on the next title. There's also a level 6 programming position opening up in R&D in a few months that would be perfect for him. Yeah, that's the whole thing that they were talking about beforehand. Darn it, I really would like to find that last build note. You know what? Give me a minute and I'm going to look up a guide on where to find these build notes. Okay then, I found it. Turns out it was actually just before we headed for the port. It was right here down in this area. Could have sworn this area was an instant death along with that data stream, but apparently I was wrong. Okay, in that case, I will see you guys once we have gotten the, well, pretty much gotten to the exit port, because we only had one more thing to overload. Alright, we're back. Just gonna overload this last one, should be the last one. Download this health, download this energy.
Quarantine protocol measures offline.
And no point in fighting these guys, just block what I got and get out.
Incompetent scripts. Find out where that port leads. Yes, Colonel.
Wow, we got caught awfully fast.
Freeze, program. The Colonel wants a word with you.
I know that's that kernel is a programming term, but I'm not 100% sure on what it means.
Query Index 224-C. Unauthorized use of resources. Program quarantine in connection to spreading virus. User unknown. State your origin.
You're making a big mistake.
Mistake? Reveal your creation date before I disassemble your Code 1 operation at a time.
Well, I was born in '82.
Impossible! You are much too complexity from that period. You have been accused of spreading a viral agent through the system. What is the intended goal of this sabotage?
I'm not responsible for that virus.
Enough! Who is your user?
I am a user.
Blasphemy! Regulars, put the prisoner in upkeep.
Wait, you can't do this. I'm a user. Find Mithria. I'm trying to help her.
Let the log files show prisoner refused to cooperate and is considered incompatible. Schedule him for immediate de-resolution.
Colonel, put him on the grid.
The grid. Interesting proposition.
I guarantee it'll be a race you won't forget.
Take them to the staging pit.
You have entered a new system with different memory requirements. Please reconfigure subroutines. Yep. Usually whenever we finish a big part, this will happen. It'll definitely unlock new utilities for us, but now we also have to go through the process of putting everything back in order. Oops. Let's see. Definitely take this. This is definitely going to be useful. Yeah, that should work. And actually, this ain't going to be all that useful to us. Matter of fact, I don't think anything except for maybe the virus and the Y-amp are going to be useful for reasons. Learn about light cycles before competing on the grid. Yes, here we are in light cycles. One of the key components of Tron. Unfortunately, it is also one of my least favorite parts of the game. Believe me, I love everything else about this game, but the light cycles I could have lived without. Then again, it probably wouldn't have been a proper Tron game without them.
Programs Cody, Skate, and Jet prepare to enter Grid Arena 1.
Now then, before we continue on, I'm going to take a brief moment and look at the guide, because unfortunately it's a video-based guide, about where the build notes are in this level, because there are 5 of them. So that's a lot of points we could miss out on if we don't get them. Okay then. Looks like the notes are going to be spread out along the area. And, well, I know for a fact that we won't be able to get them all right away. Call it intuition, if you will. There are some archives here with stuff in them, but we can't get them because we don't have the proper permissions. We can get some of them, but it appears we're going to lose one of them. Boy, the mood around here is pretty awful. I heard the CFO is in deep trouble for misallocation of funds. First the internet bubble burst, and now this? I also hear that Gibbs Jr. is putting the company up for sale. You know any good headhunters? Yeah, there's one permission we're missing to get this. Okay, then. No other build notes, it seems. We're just gonna have to keep moving.
Here's your rod primitive. Once on the grid, activate it to res in your light cycle.
Light cycle params, yada yada, standard, blah blah blah. Can't actually use it though. That is going to be one of our next weapons. Eventually. Oh, by the way, these things are a bunch of lockers, but they require permissions to open.
To learn how to operate a light cycle, please enter the data stream. Wait while I open the port.
Yeah. Thankfully, there isn't too much exploring. It's just going to be this little area, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find all the build notes. Ah, boy. Forward
First, the
speed up.
basics. Light cycles travel at a default speed and cannot be stopped. To steer your light cycle, use the right and left strafe keys.
And they always turn at a 90-degree angle.
To accelerate, press and hold the move forward key. Releasing the key returns the speed back to default speed. To decelerate, press and hold the move backward key. Releasing the key returns the speed back to default speed. An added speed boost is gained when near an opponent's light cycle trail.
Or your own.
Use camera zoom and camera rotation keys to control camera position.
Honestly, I recommend just sticking to default. Maybe zoom out, but beyond that, just stick
Use
to
the
default.
light cycle camera toggle to switch between tracking and manual camera control. It's not uncommon to find power-ups on light cycle grids. To pick up a power-up, steer your light cycle over the icon.
Currently, there's only
Use
2
the
available.
fire button to activate a power-up once it is acquired. Note that power-ups are only good for one use. Speed zones, indicated by colored areas on the grid, alter the speed of the light cycle.
Shield break!
Feel free to practice controlling your light cycle. When finished, steer your light cycle over the exit icon.
Now, like he was saying, there are colored areas that green speeds you up, red slows you down. Use this to your advantage. Also, shield break is going to be your best friend for all this. So I recommend if you can pick it up, you do so. Now, they do send you into a practice arena, but you can just exit right away, if I recall correctly. And I recommend doing so, otherwise if you get de-rezzed in that, you gotta start the tutorial again.
The objective when on a light cycle is to outlast your opponent without crashing. To win, force your opponent to crash into the trail left behind your light cycle or into some other solid object.
Like the wall.
Feel free to practice racing against these opponents. When finished, steer your light cycle over the exit icon.
Like I said, I don't quite enjoy this. One technique I got for you is to do that. Basically just get them to crash into their own wall. Unfortunately, this guy's got a shield breaker.
Shield break!
But at the same time, that only works if that only is good for going through one wall, not both. Let's see if I'm right about having to repeat the tutorial. No, it doesn't seem like it.
The objective when on a light cycle is to outlast your opponent without crashing. To win, force your opponent to crash into the trail left behind your light cycle or into some other solid object.
Basically, what I
practice racing against these opponents.
Basically, what I recommend doing
steer your light cycle over the exit icon.
Is trying to force your opponents to crash against their own walls or to get trapped. Shield break can help with that. But yeah, I'm just going to exit out ASAP. Oh, one thing to bear in mind, if your opponent dies, their wall goes with them. So, I'm just going to grab a shield break.
The light cycle is to outlast your opponent without crashing. To win, force your opponent to crash into the trail left behind your light cycle or into some other solid object. Feel free to practice racing against these opponents. When finished, steer your light cycle over the exit icon.
Oh boy. Let me just check real quick how long we've been going because I've been forgetting my timer. We got a couple minutes left. I think I'll spend it just collecting the build notes that I believe we should be able to get after this. Emphasis on should. Because it seems as though the mod that I've got...
Programs scheduled for grid competition are to enter Light Cycle Arena immediately.
Have moved them around a bit. Oh, well, let's talk to these guys.
Where do I go to start the race? Follow me.
Now, he'll just lead us up here. But yeah, I recommend looking at every nook and cranny. And obviously the build notes aren't going to show up until after each and every match. That's where we gotta go to start it, but I don't think we have enough time to get through another match, especially if I die several times over.
To learn how to operate a light cycle,
Nope.
please
Nope.
enter the data stream.
Nope. Already
Wait
did
while
that.
I open the port.
Not interested in doing it again. Gonna be doing enough of that in the future. Of course, I've been saying all this about it's bad, but chances are I'm probably gonna actually end up doing pretty well. Because that's the Let's Player's curse.
Enter the data stream to start the race.
Yeah, not this time. Alright, just take one last look around. Yeah, I think that's everything. And I know these matches are going to take longer than what we have left, so I'm probably going to just end this video off here for today. Oh. Ugh, bless me. Sorry. So yeah, I'm going to end it off early for today, and then we can just get straight into the light cycle battles in the next episode. So, if you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, or to hit the straw polling to vote for our next Let's Play. And please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.